The major difference which I noticed is that in Pakistan, mostly company will give you a simple problem like FizzBiz or some sorting algorithm or some very general problem. But with the German companies, they give you a very precise problem which is relevant to your system. For example, they will ask you to design a small caching system. Maybe they are working on something caching. So they are more oriented towards your approach toward a system as compared to the problem itself.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another success story with Ali from Lahore, Pakistan. I'm Raul, and I'm looking very much forward to have a very interesting discussion with Ali, who is currently in Hamburg and landed a job in Germany a couple of months back. Let's see what he can share with us today. Ali, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I am doing good. What about you?
I am good as well. Thank you. Ali, we want to talk about your experience in the hiring process with German companies. We want to talk about the work environment and what it takes as a JavaScript Fullstack engineer, what also the market recently changed, and what requirements are needed. I would say we jump in, okay?
Yeah, sure. So my basic experience with the German company started back last year. So it was like pretty good. Like you need a proper resume, a proper structure to get highlighted over the whole pool of CVs in a German recruiter. So my first go-to will be like you should be precise about the CV. You should put all your achievements and the things you work on. So that is a good thing. And with the hiring process, the hiring process is bit like a lengthy one, not in a bad sense, but obviously if they are bringing some people from another continent to this continent, they need to assure that should be a right fit. So for that purpose, the interview process is a bit lengthy. So usually it starts with an introductory call with the HR where you get the first impression of each other. You get your expectations set around things. So you need to be very clear about like what you are perceiving from that job description, and they also do this for themselves for the job post. And then if you are successful in clearing that phase, you have another round where you get like a general discussion with your experiences over the technical side, like how things are, on what type of projects you work, what type of technologies you prefer. And another thing which Germans are more interested in is like your future oversight, like what you are thinking of yourself in becoming the next 2 year or 3 year person. And that is basically around the whole around your whole personality, like including your technical skills, your communication and everything. So you need to get, sorry.
Yeah, just finish saying I just want to add here something, but please go ahead.
Okay, so you need to take care of that thing as well. If you are successful in that thing, most of the German companies will send you an take-home assessment. So that take-home assessment is not like the typical lead code challenge. In most cases, that is like a problem statement or something very relevant to the job. So to successfully get it, then you need a good skill set to get the job done. Like you should be very precise about the solution which you are doing. Don't put the unnecessary stuff inside it. Like if you want to include some library, you have a very solid reason that why you are including that library and why are you not doing it in like making your own function.
Have you gone through like live coding challenges, or was it take home assignment and then you had to interview?
Mostly mostly the companies ask you about the take home assessments, and the live one is a very rare occurrence. Like few companies will do that, the live coding challenge, but I have seen that the number of companies will give you a take-home assessment, which you have to do it over like some third-party tool, maybe the CodePen or any other which they are using for the dev environment. Or there might be some whole problem which you can do it on your local system, and then you can push the code on the GitHub or anything.
Yeah. Ali, if we compare the tech challenges with the tech challenges like in Germany and in Pakistan, or what are the differences that
Yeah.
you would point out here?
Yeah, so the major difference which I noticed is that in Pakistan, mostly company will give you a simple problem like FizzBiz or some sorting algorithm or some very general problem. But with the German companies, they give you a very precise problem which is relevant to your system. For example, they will ask you to design a small caching system. Maybe they are working on something caching. So they are more oriented towards your approach toward a system as compared to the problem itself. So this is the main difference between the challenges which I have faced.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when we look throughout the hiring process, you explained already the different rounds. Usually you have 3 to 5 rounds where you have a get to know call, where you meet also throughout the process different
Yeah.
people. And it's much more related to cultural questions, communication skills, scenario-based questions. Here again, my question: what would be what would you say really stands out compared to the hiring process in Pakistan?
Yeah. The most prominent thing is like the German people really emphasize on your like communication skills. Like the first thing is like how well you can explain your solution to them, or how quick you can able to perceive their question or the thing they are presenting. So communication is like a very crucial thing here. Like you need to be very good in understanding things and then presenting your logic or your thing or your stance to them. So this is the main difference. Like it's more like a very, you can say, the prime difference between these two cultures. So
Mm-hmm. And you are a full stack developer, JavaScript,
yeah,
React, Node. When we look at on both sides, what could you share here with the community?
yeah. So I am a full stack developer, and I have seen that people in German companies are mostly working in a full stack capacity. Like they don't have specific teams for the front end, like we have in Pakistan or in Asia in general. But they prefer to have like a person who can basically took the whole responsibility of a module. So when we say the module, it comes with like the front end, back end, and maybe some database changes. So having the front end, back end, and some basic AWS skill will be really handy. And another thing which I have seen over my hiring thing is that most of the systems here in Germany are built over the microservices. So you really need to emphasize on your skills over the microservices and how that whole system works. So yeah.
Kubernetes
Yeah,
related as well. They're very, very true. So we're talking about, as you taught me as before we did the record, about the super engineer, the
yeah.
engineer with a 360 degree mindset. Can you elaborate a bit more? What is that about?
Yeah, it's more like a slang word in the tech community. It's not like a formal one, but we can say a super developer is one who can monitor the logs over the AWS, who can figure out what's going wrong in the production environment, who can figure out if a client is giving some requirements, then he need to translate those requirements over the technical requirements and present it. And there are other things like beside the development, like presenting and demoing things to the audience, and then cross questioning and answering them over some technical aspect. So it's more like a whole solution. Like if they give so the basic ideology behind this super test is like they give you the ownership of a whole module. So ownership is something really important these days. So if you see yourself as an engineer and they are assigning you some task or some module, you have to almost took all the responsibility from translating the requirements into the system, and then presenting those things, then getting them tested, then like presenting to the whole audience or their global audience and releasing it to the customer. So it's more like the 360 way of saying things. So yeah, that's why I say like a 360 developer or super developer. So yeah.
Super developers, definitely. I can only agree to that. Okay, well, regarding hiring process, is there anything else that you would like to share with the community?
Yeah, there's one thing which I really like to share. The thing is with the documentation, like mostly they won't ask you for like a document or something. But I have seen in my case, like if you give a nice document explaining your approach or a solution with the solution which you have sent them, like for the take-home assignment, it will really help. And also get used to the different diagrams like the flow charts and the AWS architecture diagrams. Those things will basically put weight in your solution. Like the solution which you are presenting should be like a valid one. So if you add those things, it will increase its validity. And I think if they ask you to do something, always took an extra mile to get it done, not with the just requirements like, okay, that's done, I've done it. And another thing, you need to do the proper testing over it, like the unit testing, integration testing. You must be clear about the difference between integration testing and the end-to-end testing. So yeah, and those are the advices which I like to add.
Okay, very cool, very informative. Thank you very much for this insight that you shared with us. And in the next part of our interview, we would like to find out a bit more how it is to work at a German company and what you can share about your experience in Hamburg. Ali, all the best to you. Talk to you very soon.
See you.
Take care.